Hello, thank you for taking the time to watch my presentation on my introduction. I'm Stephanie Tufts, and here's a little bit about me. I'm going to go into my educational background. So there's a little bit there that shows my recent trainings, kind of over my career. I started in a human services diploma, and that was through college. From there, I moved into a BA, Joint Psychology and Women's Studies, on a part-time basis through Trent University. And then I had the opportunity to complete the Teaching and Training Adult Certificate while working as well. So just a couple pictures there to represent that. Family for me is the center of my world. There are a few pictures here to represent who's in my life right now. My core family there, it's a blended family with myself and my boyfriend, his daughter Kylie, and my son Adam. There's our cat Dart, and our dog Wesley. My career has been very full. I started many years ago, right after college. I got into working with abused women, and then I changed gears and shifted into employment counseling and case management. From there, I have done teaching and training through work with colleagues as well as clients within the college. I've worked part-time college faculty contracts. I have had a couple of those over the last couple of years, which I hope to have more of. And my full-time career that I do on a daily basis is college advising. So I work with college students and support them with their academics, with their academic planning, as well as major coordination with community agencies around field placement opportunities. Here's just a few examples of my hobbies and passions in terms of what I do in my spare time. Typically, if it's outdoors, it's on the top of the list. We have a cottage, so we spend quite a bit of time in the summer there. Skiing, snowboarding with the kids. In the corner here, I've done a few Tough Mudders, so those were challenging and fun. As I've gotten older, I don't know if I want to do anymore, just because some of the pieces of that are a little bit over the top. And then snowshoeing, snowmobiling, all kinds of stuff in the wintertime. I love the wintertime, and I enjoy running and biking as well. In terms of my personal views, cultural beliefs, and theories, this saying here, everything happens for a reason, is something I tend to live by. I believe everybody has an opportunity to learn. Everything that happens for a reason, whether we can see it in the moment or not. I believe that if we can persevere and kind of get through things as we experience them, then we're usually bound and destined for something better than what's happening at that moment. In terms of my cultural beliefs, it's not something that I had ever thought about until our discussion during class 1. So I look at my background. I have a Scottish, British, and Irish lineage, much like was discussed in class 1, where my extended family never talked about anything to do with mental health, never talked about anything to do with feelings or anything like that. But my parents directly supported quite a bit with my sister and I. Have just my one sister, and my parents supported our educational goals, our educational growth. They encouraged if we were ever going through anything to, seek out help, and they were the first ones to connect us with anybody that we needed to be connected with, whether it be a counselor or just somebody at the school to help us through something. I have a strong belief in access of supports and resources. After reading the articles, I see that there's a strong kind of connection with the Aboriginal views, and I'd like to learn more about that. For myself, in terms of how I seek out medical care, I tend to try to do a bit more of a holistic approach, where I combine naturopathic supports as well as the pharmaceutical, kind of being the last resort for me. Strep throat, there's usually only one way to get rid of that one, which is an antibiotic. So that's kind of my tended process. And then in terms of the theories, there's concepts related to Maslow that I follow on a daily basis at work. I talk to students on a regular basis, but if their basic needs aren't being met, then there's no way they're going to be able to excel in school. Some of the values outlined in some of the theoretical perspectives include the belief in equal rights, respect, social contribution. These kind of fall underneath the Adlerian psychology and positive psychology. Again, I want to learn more about those. And then examining how one thinks, feels, and acts in support of positive behavior, change in habits, being cognitive behavioral therapy. And as I discussed, the holistic perspectives that I'm learning now more about within the Aboriginal views. In terms of the teaching technology and technology that I use, kind of looked at what I do personally, what I do professionally, and then kind of how they impact my home and family. So I just used a few icons here to describe that. And I think the key thoughts that I had about that were in relation to how are they impacting myself in terms of my mental health? How do I feel when I'm on it, especially at home and with my family? I tend to dislike it more when I'm at home than I do when I'm at work. I feel I can't survive without it at work. Why am I using it? Again, what's the purpose for that at home and at work? And the social impact. I feel sometimes if I'm not on social media, especially with Facebook, I feel like I wouldn't know what's going on in some of my friends' lives just because we're so busy we don't get a chance to connect interpersonally. So in terms of the key population I plan to work with or examine through this course would be youth and college students specifically. And I haven't quite pinned down what topic or what theory I want to explore, but I know it definitely has something to do with social media use and whether it's depression or the impact on studying from if it's bullying or those kinds of things are the things I want to explore. So I'd like to thank you for taking the time to watch my presentation.